You want to know how quickly a quiet lake turns into the setting for a full-blown HOA war? Let me paint you a picture. 1 minute, you're marinating brisket for a backyard barbecue. Next thing you know, you're staring down a steel gate and the human embodiment of a passive-aggressive email named Karen. Yeah, this is one of those stories where the real fireworks don't come from the grill, but from an HOA president who thinks bylaws outrank county law. You ever have your weekend plans hijacked by a clipboard and a power trip? Let me back up a sec, because trust me, you're going to want all the details. So there I was soaking up the morning sun on the back deck of my aunt's old cabin. Now legally mine. After all the paperwork, the fees, the awkward condolences from distant cousins who only called when they needed lake access. I was sipping black coffee, double-checking the group chat. 25 guests lined up, friends, co-workers, 2 of my old college roommates. Even my brother was flying in. Grill was ready. Coolers jammed with ice and beer. Speaker charging, everything planned to the minute. Directions sent out a week in advance with a GPS link to the only real entrance, a paved county road that snakes through Ridge Hills, the neighborhood next door. Here's the kicker, my place sits just outside their gates. It's grandfathered in from some zoning quirk back in the 80s. I'm not part of their HOA, not by law, not by logic, just by their resentment. But the road, that's public. County took it decades ago. No gates, no key fobs, no restrictions. At least that's what I thought. Fast forward to 10:30 a.m. I'm halfway through my second cup of coffee when my phone starts lighting up like it's Black Friday at Best Buy. First called Jen, my old neighbor. Hey, we're here, sort of. There's a gate. Then Mike texts, stuck behind some guards. They won't let us through. Suddenly I'm getting photos from every angle, a shiny locked sliding gate right across the only way in. My jaw just about hit the deck. So I hop on my quad and haul down the old emergency trail my aunt used to take when the lake froze over. Burst out of the woods 30 yards from this brand new barricade, 5 cars lined up, guests looking more confused than lost tourists. At the front, 2 guys in black polos, arms folded like bouncers at a club. And surprise, surprise, between them it's Karen Willow Ridge Hills, HOA president, rocking red sunglasses, a pastel blouse, and a clipboard like she's ready to lead a parade. I cut the engine dust still swirling and just say, Karen. She spins around with a smile that could curdle milk. Evan, I see your little gathering is starting. I gesture at my stranded friends, and before I can even form a question, she launches into her routine. We had a vote last night to restrict access temporarily. Unfamiliar vehicles, unregistered guests, safety concerns. I cut her off. You can't just block a public road. She's unfazed. Gives me the we're protecting our families. Speech throws in mass event alcohol, neighborhood tranquility. It's like a script from some HOA thriller. Now Karen's got backup, these security guys, both looking like they'd rather be anywhere else. I get off my quad, walk up to her. Karen, this is county property. I've seen the plat maps. You have zero authority here. She hands me a folded ordinance, fancy headers, 3 signatures, no county seal, nothing legal. I snap a photo. You're gonna regret this, I say, and I mean it. She just smirks. We'll see what the sheriff says. So I call my lawyer Julia and put her on speaker. Ridgewatch Hills just blocked a public road. 25 guests locked out. Julia, cool as ice, tells me to document everything, photos, names, the whole circus. When she hears unlawful obstruction, Karen finally flinches, but she's still determined to play queen of the cul-de-sac. 35 minutes later, the sheriff's SUV rolls up. Deputy Caldwell Sandy, hair-mirrored sunglasses, looking like he's seen every flavor of suburban crazy. He listens, takes in the blocked cars, the gate, the guards. Karen presents her little document with a flourish, temporary restriction, emergency protocol, unsanctioned gathering. Caldwell isn't buying it. He grabs a stack of official county plat maps, spreads them on his hood. Ma'am, this road's been public since 1984. HOA boundary stops 60 feet before the gate. Karen doesn't blink. That's not what our map says. Caldwell doesn't miss a beat. Your map isn't the county's map. I hand him my own laminated copy, boundary lines, surveyor stamps. He nods. This matches the county's. He asks Karen, "Did you get a permit for this gate?" She hesitates. "It's temporary. That's not what I asked. It was approved by our board." "That's not how public infrastructure works, ma'am." The guards are shifting, looking nervous. Karen pivots, tries to frame me as a rogue neighbor throwing an unauthorized event. Caldwell shuts her down. "I'm not here to referee your neighbor wars. I'm here because you blocked a public road." He walks up, asks, "Are you going to open it?" She balks. Some guests start live streaming. Thomas from Seattle yells, "We're posting this on Facebook if that's cool." Karen turns crimson. "I'll file a restraining order." Caldwell gives her a look that says, "Try me." He tells the guards to open the gate. One finally cracks, punches in the code, and the whole thing slides open with a clatter. 25 guests roll through, some honking a few, leaning out windows. "Thanks for keeping us safe, Karen." She storms back to her golf cart, heels clacking like an angry metronome. Caldwell hands me his card, says, "Call me if she tries anything else." Turns out he's dealt with her before, not surprised. Everyone piles into the cabin, and it's like we just crossed through some HOA version of Narnia, kids asking, "Was that the gate lady?" The day goes on, but that little stunt sticks in my craw. Karen wasn't trying to protect anything, she was trying to control people. My people. The next morning I wake up to a dozen emails and half as many texts. "Have you seen this?" Turns out Karen sent an all-resident blast, security incident, unregulated gathering near Ridge perimeter. It accuses me of throwing some unpermitted party with public disturbances, intoxicated individuals, disrespectful conduct. The cherry on top. She claims the county approved her gate. I send it to Julia. She replies defamation. Then I hear there's an emergency board meeting to make the temporary gate permanent. Karen's aiming to rewrite the rule book. I don't wait. I call the County Department of Transportation, submit every photo, every statement, the sheriff's report, and my own land documents. The DOT rep, Angela, is not amused. "We didn't even know they put up a gate. If it's on public land, they're in trouble." I measured it 10 feet onto county property. Angela promises to escalate. Meanwhile, I show up at the Ridge Clubhouse before the board meeting, drop a stack of certified documents in front of Karen and her crew, county plat maps, bylaws, a DOT email confirming the complaint. "You keep this gate up, you're risking a county lawsuit," I warn them. Dead silence, except for one board member muttering, "Why didn't we check the land use file?" Thursday, county officials roll in, inspectors, lawyers, even a compliance guy who looks like he'd rather be doing anything else. Karen tries her usual charm waves, altered maps, but the officials aren't fooled. One comes over, "Mr. Merrick, you're right. The gate is on public land. They have 48 hours to remove it or the county will, and there's now a fraud inquiry into the forged documents." I can't help but grin. Across the street, Karen just stands there white-knuckled, clutching the cease and desist like it's a live grenade. Of course, Ridge doubles down. An emergency newsletter goes out, painting me as a menace. Disturbance by non-member resident. They say public consumption of grilled meat like barbecue is a felony. Julia laughs. They're panicking. Just don't stoop to their level. But residents start forwarding these emails to the county and local news, saying the HOA's lying and weaponizing communications. One writes, "I didn't sign up to be part of a HOA militia." And then, because this saga needs a twist, Karen posts a video. Dead serious. Full blazer, HOA, pin hydrangeas in the background. She talks about digital insurgency and protecting the borders. Like this is Homeland Security and not, a lakeside cul-de-sac. Her performance makes the news. Residents start live streaming board meetings, laughing at proposals to ban open porch drinking and non-compliant footwear. One guy pipes up, "Isn't that illegal?" Karen ignores him. Instead, I get a hand-delivered letter accusing me of unauthorized assembly and persistent refusal to coordinate with Ridge access officers. My proximity privileges apparently are in danger. I laugh so hard I nearly toss the letter in the fire pit. Julia helps me draft a cease and desist back, accusing them of harassment and unlawful restrictions. I make a public post, maps, county records, copies of everything. The post blows up. By Sunday, I'm on the Reddit front page. Channel 7 News calls professors reach out Karen's drowning in her own paper trail. Then the county really gets involved. An orange notice appears on the gate, investigation pending. Karen ignores it, tells a volunteer, Marvin, to open the gate anyway. I snap photos, send them to the county. Julia finds proof the original easement never granted the HOA road control ever. Now we're talking criminal fraud, not just neighborly nonsense. Julia files for an injunction. The county prosecutor gets our stack of guest statements. Everything from my 6-year-old cried for 20 minutes to felt like a war zone, not a birthday party. The news runs the story. Karen again can't help herself, showing up at my dock screaming about unsanctioned gatherings. Sheriff rolls in, reads her the law, asks if she tampered with the gate. She tries to walk off, but she knows it's over. Wednesday, the HOA files a complaint against me, defamation, inciting unrest, cyber harassment. I'm not even a member. It's laughable. By noon, the Office of Public Integrity calls. Would you be willing to testify? Gladly. Turns out, Karen had faked the maps, fabricated a committee, and left a trail of altered documents. Julia files to dissolve the HOA board. Meanwhile, Ridge residents, once silent, start reaching out saying they were threatened, lied to, manipulated. By Friday, news crews swarm the neighborhood. Karen tries to give a statement, fumbles it. County issues an injunction, remove the gate, suspend HOA leadership pending audit. Karen's press release blames me for a coordinated smear campaign. Julia files for restitution. Dashcam footage shows Karen arguing with deputies, claiming HOA authority trumps county law. The judge isn't impressed, rules the gate illegal, the road public fines the HOA, charges Karen with fraud and obstruction. The gate comes down, reporters film the whole thing. Karen sobs, hides behind sunglasses. Her reign is over. The county puts up a new sign, public right-of-way, open access. Neighbors clap, a new board is announced, and I throw the biggest barbecue the lake's ever seen. This time even the sheriff drops by. The moral stand your ground, know your rights, and never underestimate the power of a well-timed group chat. But here's the real question. Where do you draw the line between protecting your community and becoming the villain of someone else's story? If you've ever been in an HOA showdown, I want to hear your war stories down in the comments. What would you have done if Karen came for your road? And hey, if you believe in real justice, hit like, share this with a friend, and let's keep the conversation rolling.